Wickets tumble on a day of carnage at Chelmsford. After a frustrating week for the hosts in round 3, Essex were hoping for better weather and, more importantly, a better result. The visitors at Yorkshire would be looking to recover from a disappointing loss, both teams sitting in mid-table, 5 points separating them. Yorkshire opted to bat first, but endured a poor start. No runs on the board before Harry Brook nicked off to Sam Cook, Simon Harmer with the catch. The calamity continued for Yorkshire as wickets continued to tumble. Cook first removed Adam Lyth for naught, before finding the edge of Joe Root's bat the very next ball, sending the England skipper back to the pavilion for a golden duck. Caught Alastair Cook, bowled Sam Cook. Essex were not finished there. They soon saw the back of Pujara, courtesy of Jamie Porter, meaning that 4 wickets had gone down in the opening 4 overs of the first morning. After just 30 minutes of play, Johnny Bairstow was in at number 6, but not for long. He became the 4th victim of the morning for Sam Cook, dismissed for 7, with the bowler claiming 4 for 8 in just 4 overs. Despite efforts to add runs, Jack Leaning was the next man out, trapped LBW by Siddle for just 7. And in the very next over, Cook completed his 5-wicket haul, pinning Bresnan LBW for 1. These incredible scenes showed no sign of abating, as Siddle then took 2 in his very next over. Patterson, first to go, caught behind for 2, and just 3 balls later, Brook's on his way for a duck, falling in exactly the same fashion. There was just 1 wicket remaining, and only 5 more runs were added before it fell. The innings brought to an end on 50, when Siddle finally removed balance for a comfortable top score of 22. An embarrassing display from Yorkshire, who recorded their lowest county championship score since 1973. Outstanding bowling, though, from the home side, with Sam Cook taking 5 for 28 and Siddle 4 for 7 from just 3 overs. Yorkshire's decision to bat, not one to look back on with any fond memories, but they could still turn it around with an equally good display from their bowlers. And on that front, things started well as Brook sent Alastair Cook on his way for a duck in the second over. In his next over, Brook struck again, removing Tom Wesley's middle stump to make it 2 for 2. Brown and Lawrence saw the hosts through to lunch, but it was an unconvincing total of 10 for 2 at the break. It was a hectic morning at Chelmsford, Yorkshire's first innings lasting just 18 overs, with Joe Root out first ball and skipper Balance the only man to reach double figures. With 2 early wickets from Jack Brooks, though, Yorkshire's tails were up going into the afternoon session. And they grabbed another quick wicket. Brown bowled by Code for 7. Lawrence then restored some order to the game and batted with intent, the batsman contributing with some fine strokes to the boundary. But his partner Papara only managed to put on 9 runs before he fell victim to Patterson, the ball caught by Pujara. Skipper Tenduscarter was then at the crease and put on a few runs before his partner Lawrence was dismissed to LBW. The batsman out 48, Tim Bresnan, the bowler. Newman Foster didn't fare much better. He scored just 3 before falling victim to Bresnan a couple of overs later. 5 slow overs for Essex came before the next wicket. Tenduscarter, the man out, trapped LBW by Bresnan, the bowler's 3rd of the day. Siddle came to the crease and he added some emphatic boundaries, but he didn't last too long either. Brooks putting an end to his fun, the ball caught by Balance. In the next over, Jamie Porter was dismissed for a duck, Ben Code trapping him LBW. And despite late resistance from Harmer, Yorkshire finally finished Essex off when Bresnan caught him out off the bowling of Code. Essex's total, 142 all out. Another impressive bowling display to look back on. Code, Brooks and Bresnan picking up 3 wickets each. Lawrence and Harmer the only batsmen to add significant runs. It was a drastic change in the batting order for Yorkshire, Bairstow opening with Adam Lyth. But the decision looked to be a good one as the batsman hit a number of 4s and a 6 off the bowling of Cook. Lyth batted well, helping teammate Bairstow reach his half-century, a devastating innings so far. But just 2 balls later, he was out. Peter Siddle, the bowler with the breakthrough, the ball sent clattering into the stumps. Despite some quick boundaries from new man Brook, Lyth was on his way just 2 overs later. The batsman eventually caught off Siddle out for 27. Brook and new man Pujara batted well though, and Harry Brook soon brought up his half-century off just 47 balls, the milestone including 7 fours and 1 6. They put on a really good 50 partnership, and that saw proceedings through until stumps. The score 161 for 2, Yorkshire leading Essex by 69 with 8 second innings wickets intact. And yes, that's heading into just day 2. Game in the balance after normalities restored at Chelmsford. It was a crazy first day at Chelmsford on day 1, 22 wickets falling in total, with Yorkshire getting stuck into their second innings in the afternoon. The score resumed on 161 for 2 on day 2, the visitors leading Essex by 69 and looking to increase that as Brook and Pujara returned. The pair started with intent, both players finding the boundary. It took a considerable amount of time before the first wicket fell. Pujara, the man out, a misjudgment resulting in a wicket for Siddle. That ended a 94 partnership with Brook. Joe Root then came into bat and he started his second innings watchfully after suffering a golden duck in the first. His partner Brook, however, continued to push on and he reached a well-earned maiden century of 129 balls before the interval. That took the teams in to lunch. A fantastic session for Harry Brook to look back on. His classy century, the highlight for Yorkshire. The score at this stage, 260 for 3, meaning Yorkshire led by 168. Joe Root added just 10 runs before he was dismissed after lunch, dragging the ball onto his stumps off a Papara delivery. And Brook followed just a few overs later. He attempted a boundary off Harmer, only for the ball to be caught by Wesley. 124 runs though for the young batsman. Captain Balance was then in bat and he only put on 3 before he was clean bowled by Papara. 3 wickets lost in just 6 overs for Yorkshire. Bresnan was then on his way for a 15-ball duck, Jamie Porter wrapping him on the pads LBW, and more wickets tumbled in the afternoon as Patterson was bowled by Porter for 7. In the very next over, Brooks was sent packing for 1, courtesy of a catch off Siddle. Leaning did contribute some late runs for the last wicket partnership, but the final wicket did fall soon afterwards, Jamie Porter ending the innings when he bowled Leaning for 29. Yorkshire 329 all out. Positives for both teams as they went into tea. Brooks 124, hugely precious for Yorkshire, but some tight bowling from Siddle giving Essex a target of 238 to win. Brown and Cook coming to the crease in the evening session. They began positively, but it wasn't long before Cook was out, bowled by Patterson for 26. And Patterson didn't stop there. Just 3 balls later, he dismissed Wesley for 3, the batsman out, LBW. 5 more overs passed, then the next wicket came. Brown gone for 10, bowled by Patterson. And Patterson was to strike again just a few balls later as Papara fell for a 2-ball duck. The ball caught by Brook. Patterson with figures of 4 for 10 at this stage from just 5 overs. Skipper Tenduscarter started his second innings with intent, and both he and Lawrence managed to stay in to see the match through to stumps. The score at the end of the day then, 97 for 4. The game very much in the balance, with Essex needing another 141 for victory, with just 6 second innings wickets remaining. Tenduscarter and Lawrence doing well in the evening, halting Yorkshire's progress after an impressive 4 for 21 in the end from Patterson. Given the forecast, this match is likely to end on day 3. Patterson bowls Yorkshire to remarkable win. Essex needed 141 runs to win the match against Yorkshire going into day 3, but a century from Brook and 4 for 21 from Patterson also gave Yorkshire a hope of victory. With 6 wickets remaining, Tenduscarter and Lawrence returned to the crease in the morning. Just a few runs were added before Yorkshire took the upper hand, Tenduscarter out for 34, falling LBW to code. Foster then came in and left just 3 balls later. Code again with the delivery, Bairstow with the catch. Essex now 6 wickets down. Code continued his inspired form, quickly picking up his 3rd of the morning. Harmer not adding to the scoreboard before the ball wrapped him on the pads and he was out LBW. The collapse continued for Essex. They lost Lawrence in the next over, clean bowled by Patterson for 32. Despite efforts at a revival, Porter was next out, Patterson trapping him LBW for 3, that Patterson's 6th wicket of the innings. Essex still needed 112 runs to win, they had just 1 wicket remaining. Siddle began to find the rope, and both he and Cook tried their best to chase down Yorkshire's total. But it was soon all over, Bresnan finding the final wicket when he trapped Siddle LBW. Essex 146 all out, the win for Yorkshire remarkably by 91 runs. So after one of the worst starts Yorkshire could have imagined, they managed to pull victory out of the bag with an incredible comeback. Essex not able to capitalise on a golden opportunity as they lost for the first time since September 2016. Seam bowler Patterson took a career-best 6 for 40, whilst Code, who removed Tenderskata, Foster and Harmer in the space of 10 balls, finished with 3 for 36. Yorkshire take home 19 points then, Essex settling for just 3.